What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Shattered Glass Cast on the NAI Wrestling Network, coming to you live, someone in person and on camera. Your boy Damian Salty G, Matt McCool, as well as Chip K. Faye. What is up, guys?
Are we on YouTube?
Yes, we are.
We're on YouTube. I can see you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, after McCool did the whole I snapshotted you guys, I figured.
Well, thanks for the warning. Now I can put my post-it note back on.
Yeah. Chip did not have time to change, folks. So,
I'll be back in 1 second.
Are we actually on YouTube right now?
Yes, we are. We are on YouTube. We are on my YouTube
station. YouTube Live. Cool. What's up,
yes,
guys? How are you? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy SGC Day, as Chip has now wandered off, probably to change his shirt. I feel like that's what Chip is doing right now. So while Chip is changing his shirt, we can. What the? Why do you look like an Express model right now, Chip? Come on, man. Chip looking like an Express model.
He goes from the blue T-shirt to like the nice flannel, getting all dressed up for us tonight.
Well, I'm always dressed like this. But
Chip, where'd you get that shirt, bro?
Lucky Brand.
What is that? I don't even know what that means.
You've never heard of Lucky Brand?
Lucky Brand's nice. They have nice jeans. They're very comfortable.
I all the jeans I wear are Lucky Brand jeans.
We're gonna be live. I gotta have a little background.
Yeah, I mean, if we're live, I gotta look nice.
Somewhat presentable for people. All right, we're already off the rails here. You could find us. You can find the show at Glasscast NAI. Myself at Dare to Be Damien, Chip at Chip K. Faye, Matt at McCool NAI.
You can't find
guys. First and foremost, didn't like the mixed match challenge last night. I was not pleased by that first showing, and I know Facebook watches, I guess, this new way of streaming, and I didn't like it. I know there's differing opinions, and I'll get into my take on it, but I want to get you guys' take. What did you think about the first match in the mixed match challenge?
So naturally, of course, because Sasha's involved.
Hey, it took us like 2 minutes for that to happen.
I'm just making a joke of myself. No, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Other than like so I hooked it up from my computer to my TV. It glitched a few times, so I missed a few things. But I love Sasha and Finn's chemistry. I love the little intricacies of the match, how they did the interviews backstage. It was very new age. It was a really cool way to watch wrestling. It's already amassed 1.3 million views. So it obviously worked, and I loved it. I thought the match was great. They gave him plenty of time, and both teams had good chemistry. I also liked how Sasha, Shinsuke got a little involved with Sasha, but it wasn't like a, over the line type thing.
Right.
Sure. It is a tag match at the end of the day, but I like the ending. I like the result. I thought that Sasha and Finn had great chemistry. Too sweet.
When they did that, they booed. The crowd booed when they did that. So
did they?
Yes.
Did they?
They booed both of their entrances too.
Go ahead.
Really?
Yeah, they both. They both got booed during their entrances. I thought it was okay. I mean, like Damien and I talked about kind of a little bit last night, was Natty and Sasha just looked lazy-ish, like out of place, not out of place, but like they just didn't see going through the motions is what you use.
Yes,
for example. And I felt that Finn and Shinsuke, they were at their normal level. They were fine. They were fine. It was okay. It was nothing spectacular. It's not something that I would have gone out of my way to watch if I wasn't on Facebook at work already. But I was on Facebook. I saw it pop up, so I watched it. But like I said, if I was home and it was SmackDown was over, I would have just went on to Netflix and watched NCIS or something. I wouldn't have gone out of my way to watch it.
See, Natty and Sasha have really never worked, and I thought that they worked really well together. Natty's like heel character along with Sasha played off well. And it was also cool to see Shinsuke and Finn go at it. So I really, really enjoyed it. I thought the presentation was cool. I thought the match was really good. The teams had great chemistry. I'm really looking forward to this every single Tuesday. Actually, more than I'm looking forward to SmackDown, like a regular, like random Raw. I think it's going to be a lot. I think it's going to. Obviously, we're getting the Mania season. Next Monday is going to be Raw 25.
Right.
But I'm loving this. I think this hits a lot of segments. It's multi-gender. It's great.
I actually have a baseball meeting I'm supposed to go to on Monday, and I am not going to it because I'm so excited for Raw 25.
Good.
And I don't get excited about
Me too.
wrestling like this anymore. So it's pretty cool because everybody's coming back. Like, I'm just waiting for that glass to break and see Stone Cold. I'm waiting for Trish. I'm waiting for Tori Wilson. I'm so excited.
And
You're waiting for Tori Wilson?
Oh, don't
my
don't
God.
judge. I
Come on,
I
Chip.
can feel your judgment through the screen.
That's not judgment.
Keep
That
it.
is
On my
come
side
on,
too,
dude.
Chip.
Stop.
Keep it.
I think that like it's not just going to be a nostalgic show where they show up and say hi. I really think this might be like one of the biggest Raws ever, and I think there's going to be something huge is going to happen on this show.
It's going to be like Raw 25. What was the biggest thing to happen at Raw 25? At Raw 1000, the biggest thing was CM Punk and Rock confirming their match at Royal Rumble. We're going to get the same thing again, which is...
I think it might be Cena and Taker.
Yes, I think you're right.
I feel like that's where they're going to start the feud is Cena and Taker.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. What do we think about that match, by the way?
I'm in.
Are you in?
I'm in.
I've got mixed feelings about it because the way Taker retired last year was perfect. And for them, I get they probably want to do Cena versus Taker at 32. And obviously John gets hurt and things happen. But the way he did it and the way Taker put everything in the ring, and a lot of people are going to really hate me saying this, but I would be ecstatic and totally in if Taker comes back as the American Badass Undertaker, and then the old Undertaker, like the actual Undertaker, is dead, but American Badass Mark Calloway is back. I'll pop. I think that's great because you're killing off the character. You're not killing off Undertaker. But if he comes back as the same character, I just can't buy the whole dead man thing anymore.
The dead man is dead, and now it's the Undertaker is alive.
The dead
again.
man was already dead. Wasn't that the whole gimmick?
Well, no, the dead man went back to hell. The dead man went back to hell after last
did.
WrestleMania. So now the American Badass rises.
You know what?
I also think that's why we got that. I think that's why we got that I Respect America shirt. You know the one I'm talking about? It's Undertaker bringing his trench coat out, and it's the American flag.
Back in from Survivor Series all those years ago, where he's like, "We're let freedom reign," and
but no, I'm talking about the shirt that was just recently.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I saw it recently. Yeah.
You were there. You were there for that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that's why we got that shirt. So I think that's a possibility.
Okay, here's my thought on Cena Taker. In theory, this is great. In promotion, this is wonderful because that promotional poster, I don't know if it was fan made or not, where it says "One Last Ride" and it shows Taker and then Cena in the middle in like a hooded sweater. I think that is a great promotional aspect of it. Two icons, as they say. But what I don't like, as an aside for what you just said, Matt, about the whole American Badass coming back and the dead man dying, that match with Roman was horrible last year.
Oh my God, yeah.
I've seen wrestlers at 60 have bad matches, but Taker looked old. He looked like the wrestler on the indies that's hanging on a little too long, and you're like, oh.
Well, he is old. That's that's the thing here. He is old.
You know, and that's where we're at now with Taker, where it's, yeah, the gong will be cool, but no, you ended it in a bad match. And I get pride is a hell of a thing, where if you're a professional athlete, you don't want to go out looking pathetic. And to be honest, Mark Calloway is probably pissed off that his last match was pathetic.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I can see this as a redemption. But I did not think of the wrinkle of attaching the American Badass to it. So, Matt, that is a great little nuance on it that I think if they explored that, one, it trolls everybody. That's great. Two,
I love it.
You don't have to do the whole rest in peace. You can just be like, boy,
enough.
I'm going to whoop your ass like Taker used to do with Jeff Hardy. And him and Cena, if Cena comes out like the Doctor of Thugonomics, I think the promos in and of itself would be great. And if they go that angle, I'm with that. But they're going to have to make this a gimmick-heavy match for it to be successful.
I think John will get a good match out of Taker. I was at Mania and I did rewatch the match. I didn't think it was terrible, but Taker's looked not like the Undertaker the last couple years. I thought he looked horrid at WrestleMania 30, like absolutely terrible, like physical-wise. And hey, I mean, he's been in the public eye a lot. He's done more appearances. He's been on the Tonight Show. I think it's kind of time for him to be in the public eye and kind of get rid of the whole Undertaker character, like I said. And hey, while we're at it, let's do a whole Miz and Maurice thing. Let's bring back Michelle McCool. Nikki can be involved. Let's make it personal. I just don't want to see, hey, Undertaker versus John Cena. We're just going to do this to do it. Kind of like, and I watched the Raw 25 Moments thing on the network last night when Triple H came out.
Oh, yeah.
To chant, not, we're going to stare each other down, look at the sign, we're just doing the match to do it. If it's Taker and Cena, I want there to be something behind it too.
Chip, thoughts?
Chip just changed.
I muted my mic. And I changed my shirt.
What just happened to Chip's microphone? Okay.
What are you doing?
I had to change it.
What are you doing?
It got too hot.
Oh my God. This episode of SGC is brought to you by Chip's Wardrobe.
This is another Lucky Brand product.
Oh, Chip's going to do a fashion show, Mania.
This is how I dress normally. What were you talking about?
We were talking about Taker and Cena and Matt saying you could throw all these wrinkles on it where you.
Oh yeah, I was here for that.
Okay, and I'm saying it's not going to work, but your thoughts is?
I think it does work. I think people want to see, as much as they don't want to admit, they want to see Undertaker.
Of course they do.
I mean, come on. I mean, I cried when he hung up when he put the trench coat and the hat down last year, Mania. Sorry, I'm laughing at myself.
What is happening right now, Chip? What are you doing?
I'm tired. It's been a long day. So I teared up. So
okay,
I thought that was it, but now that he's coming back, I'm stoked again. I'm stoked.
So let me put the question out to the NA audience and anyone who's listening to SGC. Do you think Undertaker and Cena is worthwhile? And I'm probably going to put the poll up on SGC, but that's just our opinion. I personally don't think from an in-ring portion it's not going to be good. Think of it like the Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon no DQ match from a few years ago, where it was so schmozzy. Like you said, Matt, you're going to have everybody and their mama involved. You're going to have Nikki come in and do a run-in.
Yep.
You're going to have Michelle McCool come
bring out the daughter. Why not? Let's get everybody involved. Let's do it up, and then we're done. Double retirement match.
I got a question. Is anybody else's stream going crazy right now?
No.
I could barely hear you. I apologize for that cutting. No, Damien.
Okay.
Oh, well, I can hear just fine.
Okay, now everything's good.
Okay. But that's the thing. That's what we feel respectively about this. I want to go back really quick to the mixed match challenge. I don't know if this needs to have the women wrestle the dudes, but I do like that the talent interact with one another even briefly, like Sasha jumping on, over Shinsuke, or Natty breaking up the pin attempt, and what's his face? Who was it? Was it Sasha breaking up the pin attempt, or was it Natty? I forgot.
Sasha.
Yeah.
Okay, and Graves is like, disqualify her.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I'm thinking, holy crap, he's right. Because if Shinsuke or Finn did it, it would be an instant disqualification. So I think if you can have a little bit more interaction between the men and the women on the opposing teams, I think it would be a little bit more, provoking for the people to tune in. What I didn't like, and I know there's an option, and this is probably me being old, Clint Eastwood, get off my lawn, but when you're watching it on Facebook, and you're seeing all the effing hearts and the likes go across your screen, and people commenting every 5 seconds.
That actually got on my TV, and I was like, oh.
I know. No, when I watched it on my tablet, I turned it off. But on my TV, it was hard to turn off.
Okay.
And I'm like, I can't deal with this. Damn kids and their technology.
Well, that's how it is. Like with Periscope and stuff like that, I tend to I always swipe to the right, so I don't have to see the comments. You know what? I've never used Tinder, so I don't know which way you're supposed to swipe.
I'm calling BS on that. You've never used Tinder.
Chip, you've never used Tinder?
Not once. I swear to God.
You swear to God, Chip, and you're Jewish? What are you doing?
We believe in God. What are you doing?
That was just an aside.
Why is my real name on here?
Because you came in with your real name. Oh! You came in with your real name. By the way, people are texting me saying this is wonderful. The fact that you're spazzing out on a live broadcast.
Fuck.
Hey, Adam.
Don't do that. Oh, fuck me.
Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve, baby. Adam and Eve.
Woo!
Now I'm gonna change my. Now I have to change my. Now I have to change my wardrobe again, and then we have to log out and come back in under my.
No, you're not. I will stop this broadcast now. No, okay, but the overall match of the mixed match challenge, I thought it was more publicity stunt more so than wrestling event, and maybe that's the point. Maybe the point is to make it a publicity stunt, a promotional tool, more so than the in-ring portion. So I can see why Matt would like it because it's got all the bells and whistles. But Grandpa Damien is like, wait, where's the good action? But then again,
yeah,
the WWE audience sucks because they booed Sasha and Finn when they were doing their little Boss Club, Balor Club, Too Sweet. They booed their entrance, and I felt the crowd was bored out of their minds. Go ahead.
And then Finn did his whole Sasha thing. You know who does a killer Sasha pose? That man right there, McCool.
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
I've done the live entrance at WrestleMania, and I promise you this year it'll be 100 times better. I forgot a few things.
That is a Shattered Glass Cast promise.
Yes.
You know what also is a Shattered Glass Cast promise?
What?
Somehow I'll go through a table.
I was going to say, you're going to go through a table or a door.
In Philly.
Yes.
Yes.
Rumble. Oh, God.
Get riding the bull in Philly. PBR.
What's that?
You're riding the bull, Xfinity.
Is that where it is? We were trying to figure that out.
Yes.
Okay.
Chip?
I'm down.
No.
No. What's my name? I don't know what my name is. What's my name?
Okay, Adam.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that. None of that.
So let me just say, as your conscience, I may not allow you to get on the ball.
What shoulder are you on? My left or my right? I gotta be looking at it when
I'm on the right shoulder.
You're on the right shoulder.
My name's Damien, so I'm on
It's like a bouncy house surrounded by a mechanical bull in a bar that's surrounded by a center with 4 bars. I'm sure we'll be fine unless they turn it up a lot and he just gets thrown off of that little bouncy house type material. If that happens, then,
I'd plan on that happening.
Yeah.
Okay. So switching gears really quick, we didn't get a chance to talk about this last week because when we recorded, the announcement didn't come out until afterwards. But there has been conflicting reports regarding Paige and whether or not she's retiring because of the neck injury.
She's not.
Well, no one's really officially stated anything because she was with Absolution this past Monday on Raw, but she has not been cleared to compete in the Royal Rumble. But she has not said anything out loud. She has not come on social media and said whether or not she's quitting. Maybe they're just trying to tease something for after Rumble. I don't know. But I want everyone's thoughts on not so much her potential retirement or being forced away from the ring, but give me some from a talent perspective. Is it a case of gone too soon if she's not allowed to continue, or is it a matter of she's getting out at the right time?
Absolutely gone too soon. She's 25.
Mm-hmm.
She's only been in WWE for, I'm talking main roster, for 4 years. There's so much.
She came up at 21, right?
Yeah.
There's so much to be desired. And again, I know we weren't going to talk about, but there's no way she's done. Come on, let's be real here. We would have done this already. She wouldn't have come out in her gear. We wouldn't tease it. Like, she wouldn't be on the road. She'd be devastated. Yeah, she's done for the Rumble. She might be done for a year, but she's not done in ring for the rest of her career. She's not done.
McCool?
I mean, we all know, really quick, that a lot of these reports come out and sometimes they're planted. I was talking to King Ajar and he may think it could be a swerve for the Rumble or like down the line. But like Chip said, I mean, I think it's, on one hand, you can't take her off TV because you have these 2 girls and, Mandy and Sonya that have just called up that, without having her on TV just in a managerial role would would hurt them. They'd have to be off TV and be repackaged, and that doesn't do anything for them. At the same token, I don't know how WWE would put her ringside knowing that, there could be an issue there. Is she done for the Rumble? Yeah, I mean, but if she does retire, it's definitely gone too soon. I agree with Chip. She is only 25 years old. She's a lot of talent, and she started off in an era where there wasn't that many good hands, really only AJ Lee and Natty, but she wasn't used back then. She also missed a year. So I'd be extremely disappointed if Paige retired. I hope she doesn't, but I also get WWE standpoint. They don't want to take any risks in terms of liability or lawsuits, but I really hope that she's not. And I just don't think that we know yet. I'm not gonna say, oh, she's definitely not until maybe after the Rumble, but she does have to stay on TV with these girls for sure. And I know that a lot of people may be surprised that I'm saying this right now, but I understand Sonya Deville pinning Sasha Banks on Monday, because if Paige is not going to be on TV,
holy shit,
and Paige is not going to wrestle, then you have to make them credible.
Yes,
credible threats to keep them on TV. Sasha's not hurt by that pin at all. She's Sasha Banks. But I thought the way they did it was fine, and what I said just makes a lot of sense.
But just one thing, I'm backtracking a little bit. You mentioned that something about coming in the Rumble and winning might be a swerve. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Not her winning the Rumble, but he was saying like the injury itself, like
she's not even
could be a potential swerve, not for the Rumble, but just like
they wouldn't use a neck injury for a swerve. That's too serious of an injury to play around with. A leg injury, an ankle injury, yeah, they could use that as a storyline down the road, but a neck injury is way too serious to mess with. I don't think they'd even mention neck if it was going to end up being like a swerve or a storyline related thing. I think that's way too serious.
Using this like Paige situation as a swerve, maybe not for Paige to come back, but for something else to happen too.
Mm-hmm.
We were texting about it yesterday. So,
and to jump on the point, Matt, that you were making about keeping Absolution credible, you have to. They're newbies, Sonya and Mandy. If you take Paige away, what are they? They're just two random girls thrown together in a motley crew of a tag team. I think if Paige in full gear is in a managerial role, but she's the one that doles out, let's say, because it's her neck, so she can do moves that have nothing to do with her neck. So you could do the Rampage. Mm-hmm. You can do a submission move. You can throw Mr. Fuji, salt in the eye. Anything to keep heat on your squad.
Mr. Fuji.
What was that?
Mr. Fuji.
You remember Mr. Fuji throwing salt in people's eyes?
Of course I do.
Ultimate heel move, and I think that Paige can trip someone up, Bobby the Brain Heenan style. So it keeps Absolution viable. I think the longer WWE goes without confirming this, keeps Absolution in a better light. Because I've told you both, I'm over it already. Like, I'm over the Riot Squad. I'm over Absolution. They came in like with these great expectations and these great, fiery first promos, and now it's kind of meh.
Well, that win on Monday for Sonya, for Absolution as a whole, kind of won me over again. Like, now they're starting to win matches clean. Like, that was a clean win. So
yeah, that kick off the top rope was like a decent enough kick where you could believe that.
Yeah, that would knock the wind out of her. She couldn't get up.
I mean, Sasha doesn't get pinned ever. So the fact that she pinned,
except by Charlotte,
by she's been pinned this year by, I think, Charlotte, Alexa, Bayley.
Listen, Sasha only gets pinned on Sundays. Sasha only gets pinned on Sundays.
That's right. Oh, by the way, Chip, we have a request for you to change into cowboy gear since you're going to be riding the bull. Since you're doing
I got you. I can go right now. I got you.
Go change your clothes, dude.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll talk to Matt. I'll talk to Matt.
I do want to talk to you about the Riot Squad Absolution thing. I think, like I said last week, I think the whole women's division in WWE in general is in kind of a holding pattern until the Rumble is over. Absolution's kind of going out a little bit for me, but like I said last week, I'm loving the fact that the Riot Squad is a Suicide Squad. The only thing that I don't like about them is their music. It's terrible. It doesn't fit them at all. It's Ruby's old music, which doesn't really make it. They're coming out trying to set a tone, and it's like hi. It's really a bad fit.
Like, I feel like if they're gonna do full Suicide Squad, it needs to be like psycho punk music to fit their motif of you can't really know what they're going to do or understand what they're going to do. It's it's like the pack of dogs mentality that the Shield was known for. And I think that is the best bet to go off of what you were saying last week, which I went back and I thought about it, and I still think it's a great point, Matt. And thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you.
That the Riot Squad becoming the Suicide Squad for WWE will, one, sell a lot of merchandise, because that's always what matters. Two, it'll get people interested in the meet and greets potentially of when the Suicide Squad. See, I'm even calling them Suicide Squad. When the Riot Squad does meet and greets. So girls are going to dress up like them because it's different. It's not these typical blonde hair goddesses, like Mandy Rose or Trish Stratus, or dressing like a Final Fantasy villain like Charlotte tends to do with her robe selection. These are relatable as Chip's.
Yeah, I got a belt buckle.
Okay.
Does he have
For
a
those
cowboy
watching
hat
the
on?
live broadcast, Chip is
Does he
wearing a
have
belt
cowboy-
buckle
Oh my god.
right now, as he done his wardrobe change. Yippee-ki-yay, mofos.
And cowboy boots.
And cowboy boots because, oh my god. I feel like we should do a live show from a rodeo bar and have Chip do like all rodeo things.
And the weirdest thing is I'm from Boston. I've never lived anywhere else.
And I've been in Texas more than you have the last couple of months.
I've only been to Texas once in my life. And I love Texas.
But Chip, Matt and I were talking about the Riot Squad, and I brought up how his take on them being the Suicide Squad has a lot of potential for WWE to capitalize. Merchandise, meet and greets, things of that nature. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Because actually, I never, like I said last week, I never thought of that comparison until Matt made it last week. But in terms of meet and greets, what do you mean that has a lot of potential in terms of that?
Okay, so you know how when WWE starts getting people over there, there's these meet and greets at random locations like tire shops and like Roman did a couple, Shinsuke did one.
So you're going for Comic Cons now with the right? Okay, yes.
Yeah. So the Riot Squad will be dressing up like their characters, and girls will be going to Comic Cons, meeting these people, meeting these women in character.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I mean, it worked for Alexa.
Yeah. Well, to a degree. Yeah. To a degree. I think Liv Morgan is more like Matt was saying.
Harley Quinn.
More Harley Quinn.
She looks like Harley Quinn a lot more.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that. She pulls off Harley Quinn better than Alexa. Yeah, to a degree. She pulls off Harley Quinn a little bit better than Alexa, but both of them are very good Harley Quinn ripoffs.
Representations, yeah.
Yeah, they're both good Harley Quinn ripoffs.
Yeah, I mean, personally, just imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, as they say. So if you can take two superstars within this calendar year span and have them rip off the same comic book character to varying degrees and not get called out on it unless you're listening to Shattered Glasscast, you're doing a good job. So kudos to whoever came up with the idea to make the Riot Squad into the Suicide Squad. And I'm so glad. Go ahead.
I mean,
you said unless you're listening to Shattered Glasscast, we're calling people out and we're making a kid from Boston dress up like a cowboy.
That's what we're about here, man. That's what SGC is about. All right. We do things differently about women's wrestling and all things wrestling incorporated. And look, Chip dressed up like a cowboy and he's from Boston. And what else are you going to get down on the network?
I love it.
And I've been to Texas once.
Yes. And I've been to Texas every month for the past 4 months.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Even I won't dress like that.
I mean, for me with the Riot Squad, I'm just at the point where like I almost bought their T-shirt because it just looks cool and I know what they're going for. I just think they need to change the presentation a little bit. Like when they come out, just have it all be black, flash Riot Squad, loud music, lights on them, and I think they'd make a much bigger impact.
They do need
to feel a little bit more scary than just Ruby Riot's like weird music.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they need new music because it's a Babyface song, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Kinda. Hang on. I would say yeah.
Yeah, high school grunge pop. Yeah, I think that's Babyface. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I can ride with that.
Because she was a Babyface.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, let's just change it up. We're in a group now. Let's switch it up a little bit.
I don't hear anything, Chip. There you go.
I do.
It's definitely a Babyface song.
Sounds like an Andrew WK song.
Yeah. Like tone down a lot.
What's it called? Party Hard.
Yes. That's a great song, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is. FSU used to come out to that.
It was in the John Madden football soundtrack a few years ago also.
Yes,
so.
exactly. It's how I heard about it.
Yeah. I want to switch gears really quick to Paige. Let me give you my quick Paige salt take, I guess. I'm going to go a little different way. I'm going to say Paige could do so much more outside of the WWF moniker, considering
Get the F out.
Considering she has a following outside of WWE. I'm going to use an old showbiz moniker and say all publicity is good publicity. So considering what we know about the Paige and the hacking and the leaking of videos, it kind of built her star up more outside the media of pro wrestling. I know it wasn't done in a proper way, and I know I'm going to probably piss off a couple of people by saying this. This enhanced her star outside of wrestling. So if she wanted to do a reality show just on her life, she could do that. If she wanted to go into movies, I think Paige can do that. She doesn't need the WWE engine behind her. I think she's well enough known commodity to not need the WWE in this instance. So if she has a chance to get out, I think she should take it. I think now more than ever, when it comes to injuries, man, don't risk yourself more than you have to. Look what happened with Edge. Edge had so many neck injuries. Angle, the same deal. And do we really want Kurt Angle walking around like in a neck brace for the rest of his life? Edge was smart. The doctor said, "You do this, you might die."
It was so sad.
And that might happen with Paige, where the doctor turns around and says, "Yeah, if you keep doing this, you're gonna die. So you might want to back up off this." Right. So I think personally, I pick health over a career, but that's just me.
But there are people like Daniel Bryan who just can't get away from it. It's like a drug to them.
Right.
And she comes from a wrestling family. She's been around the business.
Exactly.
Literally when she was in the womb. And
yeah, that's what I said. Yep.
Movie about her too. So I don't think WWE will want to let her go. Even if she wants to go, they'll force her to be a GM or a manager or something because they want all that publicity and all that whenever that movie comes out that The Rock is making that they filmed at Raw in the fall. When Rock called CM Punk live.
Yeah. Is it bad that I want Paige to be SmackDown GM after Daniel Bryan?
No.
I think that's intriguing.
So let's spin it that way. If Paige transitions into something in WWE in the GM role or something, where would her talents be best suited?
As a GM.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. Best suited as a manager. She could be a good mouthpiece for a lot of people, male or female. She could be Alana to somebody, but a better Alana. Alana we can actually understand.
Alana we can actually like.
Yes. Yep. I don't mind Lana, but she's terrible.
But we're in agreement. We're in agreement that at the Rumble, Lana's going to be the fastest eliminated, right?
Yes.
Oh, Lana's poo-poo. Yeah, she's out in 6 seconds.
Okay, good. Matt, what do you think?
Definitely a manager. I also could see her maybe working with William Regal as like a co-GM in NXT because she is one of the most famous NXT alumni out there.
Yes.
Sure. I can see that too. Yeah. And you know what? It's close to home. She lives in Orlando, so if she doesn't want to travel, or if she can't travel because of neck injury, I could see that limiting travel.
Yeah.
So that may be something that she has to do. But also, NXT may not be taking place for Full Sail for much longer. Seems like they're starting to travel more and do TV tapings elsewhere. So
yeah, weren't they doing one in Atlanta? The last set of TV tapings.
Mm-hmm. The one that's airing right now was from Atlanta.
Oh, and that's a great transition because talking about NXT, spoilers for those who haven't seen this week's edition of NXT, but Shayna Baszler is now the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. And I am one who is saying, I will put money, I'll put $20 down. Anyone wants to take me on this bet? That's fine. Shayna beats Ember Moon and does it convincingly.
Yep. It's going to be the shortest match on the card.
100%.
And I'm not for it.
I love it.
You're not for it, Chip?
I'm not for it.
Why?
Well, I think it's way too soon.
Think so?
For Shayna. Now, I'm all for getting the title off of Ember because, again, we know my feelings on that.
Yes.
But again, on the playing devil's advocate to myself, who else is there to take it? So, but the problem
nobody. Really.
The problem is I'm tired of NXT having dominant champions. Bayley was champion for how long?
Forever.
How long was Asuka champion?
Forever.
So now we're gonna go to another dominant undefeated champion. It's like we've done this 3 times in a row.
Was Bayley a true dominant champion? She was champion for a long time. She wasn't
not dominant, but a long time champion. So, but it's just like I want an underdog story. I want somebody that you feel like every time they're out there, like Bayley, out there is going to lose the title, and they don't. They're resilient. I just need something different. I need a different story, and Shayna's not going to give us a different story.
Matt, thoughts?
See, I think it's a totally different story. I love how she's been booked. I'm loving her more and more every single time I see her on TV. in the ring. She's a truly unique talent coming from MMA, but also training in wrestling, going through the indies. And I think WWE needs to hit lighting in the bottle right now. And I think they should have Shayna win at a TakeOver. And I'm loving it. I loved how she beat Dakota Kai, and I'm a much bigger Dakota Kai guy.
Dakota Kai guy.
Dakota Kai guy.
Can we get that as a T-shirt? I'm a Dakota Kai guy. I would rock that T-shirt.
That's a mouthful, and I'm definitely down for that. But she didn't pin her. She basically injured her and had her leave the match, and then there was a little, backstage vignette afterwards. So it didn't hurt Dakota at all. It just kind of helped Shayna a little bit more. I love her attitude, and I think this is also a part of having her hold that championship gives the 4 horsewomen as an overall, group with Ronda and the friends. It gives them more WWE legitimacy to make me think this match actually might happen at WrestleMania with her as NXT champion. Ronda's involved. If it's not WrestleMania, it's happening within the calendar year, but it's going to give them more credibility. So when they do this match, they're not just MMA girls. They have some wrestling street cred as well.
No, and people must think I hate everything. I don't. I like
that's my job.
Well, I know I do hate everything, but I don't hate everything but what we're talking about today. In terms of Shayna, I'm not in yet. She hasn't won me over yet. I think she's a great talent, but could be used differently, I guess. I feel like I already know what I'm gonna get, and I don't like that. I don't like knowing what I'm gonna get before it happens. You know what I mean?
You mean like Candice LeRae?
Oh, look at you.
You know what you're going to get with Candice LeRae, right, Chip?
You know what you're going to get with Mandy Leon, the greatest match of all time.
Her against Candice LeRae in a steel cage.
That would be an incredible match.
Yeah. But now that we're bringing up your favorite wrestler, Chip, Candice signed. What is her gimmick going to be in NXT, in your thought?
Exactly what you think it's going to be.
A Sparkle Princess.
Exactly. A Sparkle Princess overcoming underdog.
So, Matt, you mentioned we've talked about being the underdog and the face in peril, the underdog, the Bayley type. We both said that Dakota Kai is a better Bayley than Bayley could be. Does Candice LeRae fit that moniker better than Dakota Kai?
Depends on what your definition of that character is. I think Dakota Kai is more applicable to a variety of segments because she's like Bayley, but she's also tough in ring. Mm-hmm. She has a story behind her. I think that you can have both those characters, but Dakota Kai is a little bit different. I haven't seen her work as a different ruthless, wrestler in the indies. I haven't. I enjoyed her in the Mae Young Classic. I thought she did great. I loved her matches. And also, her husband is the biggest underdog. So I just think that it just makes sense for her to be this character. For the time
being. Isn't that obvious though?
It is obvious, but people like her a lot. She's popular. So I think that they'll think that a lot of other people that don't know who she is will buy in. Like me, for example, that never really saw her before the Mae Young Classic. Heard of her, of course, but never saw her work.
Again, I think she's great. I think the world of Candice LeRae. I'm just not excited for her in WWE.
Right. And that's fine because there's just some talent that you can't. Sorry, Matt. There's just some talent that no matter how you slice it, they don't translate well to a WWE style environment.
Right.
Case in point, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Well, because of what Candice is so great at, she can't do in WWE. Right. And I'm not one to say, WWE is going to ruin this guy because I'm not. War Machine, they're going to do great in WWE.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to do great. Ricochet, I think he's going to do very well. Donovan Dijak, he'll do well. Candice LeRae, just what she's known for, what she's been so great at since, what would you say, Damien? 2012-ish, right around there?
Yeah, 2012.
One of the best all around. World's Cutest Tag Team. That's probably what brought her to fame. But her intergender matches, she does have some good women's matches under her belt. Don't get me wrong. But just what she is out there and has done the last few years, she can't do it here. So unless she's going to make a drastic change, I don't doubt she would or can. But unless she's going to, it's going to be a tough road. But again, I'll eat my words. If she improves and kills it out there, I'll eat my words and I'll be the first to admit it. But we'll see.
Let me ask this question now that you brought that up. Going forward with Candice, I don't know who brought it up last week, but her as potentially being the head NXT women's trainer, where Sarah D'Amato comes up. eventually to the main roster. I think that would be her best transition after a while. I think you're going to see a feud, obviously, between Gargano, her wife, Zelina Vega, Almas.
Oh yeah,
that's inevitable.
100%.
When
That's a definite.
when Ciampa comes back, that's another dynamic. I think the storylines with Candice don't even have to revolve around her. But what I don't like is that they're going to revolve potentially around her husband.
That's my biggest problem.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm worried about that.
But you know what? The only way I'll accept it is, and it's not going to happen, but it's if Tommaso comes back and beats the shit out of Candice. Well, no, I'm sorry.
Whoa!
Supposed to be
You know what I mean.
The
You know
women's
what I mean,
wrestling
though.
show.
You know what I mean, though. Like he comes back and he attacks her, like that. Like think
course.
Kane and Lita.
Like he attempts to hit Johnny and Candice gets hit instead.
No. Just Tommaso. He ruins
No,
everything.
dude, they're not gonna let that slide in the
That's
NXT
what I'm saying.
show.
That's what I'm saying. It's not going to
No.
happen. I think she'd be perfect for that. She'd be perfect to take the beating. Like this sounds.
Oh,
No, you are not attributing yourself right now.
I'm not doing great today. I'm not having a good day.
oh my God.
You're being me right now, and there's only room in this show for one salty person. So
Purser,
don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. What's the progress rule? Don't be a dick. There
Don't
you
be a
go.
dick. I used to say at the end of every Check in the Boots podcast, which you can go back and listen to.
Where can we find the Check in the Boots podcast, Chip?
iTunes and Google Play and that's
Various
it.
podcasting sites.
Wherever you get your podcast, except for Spotify, because we weren't that special.
No, we're not special.
But you can find this on Spotify.
Yes, you can.
Yes, on the NAI Wrestling Network. Tweeting the show at GlassCastNAI, myself at Dare to Be Damien, Chip at Chip Kayfabe, and Matt at McCool NAI. Matt, I know you have to get out of here in a couple of minutes. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we go?
No, we covered all the bases this week. I'm looking forward to the Rumble next weekend and looking forward to breaking down the Women's Royal Rumble next week. I cannot wait for that. That's going to be so much fun.
I know the Rumble's next week.
I know.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
It's insane. We're going to all be together in one place in a week. And I don't know. I know Damien said this a couple weeks ago, and I know it's not going to happen, but I really hope women main event. I think they should.
I
really
don't think so.
I think they should do it, but they're not going to let it happen.
They'll probably start the show off.
Yeah, that'll be the hot opener. I could see that.
You know what? But that's not a bad opener. Let's be real. That's not a bad opener. That's a great opener. I mean, if that's not going to open, what should open the show?
As long as it's not on the pre-show, like when back in WrestleMania, SmackDown Women's Title match was on the pre-show, and yeah, let's not do that.
Well, I promise you, we're not doing that. I promise we're not doing that.
There's no way they would hype this up and do that. I will have a conniption. You'll be able to hear me in the crowd.
If it's not the Women's Royal Rumble opening the show, it's got to be the tag titles, the SmackDown tag titles match.
Oh yeah,
that would be a hot opener.
I think Usos have to drop the belt considering personal ramifications with one of the Usos.
Yes.
So unfortunate.
Well, don't get upset yet, because there is no, in the wellness policy, there is nothing for DWIs or anything like that. Alcohol.
But arrests in general.
Well, even still, that's touchy because he's been arrested before and he didn't get suspended for the same thing.
Okay.
So there's nothing for that in there. There should be. I think there should be. I think it's wrong. There's not. Because you know what? If you don't punish him, he doesn't realize that he's going to lose his career. Then nothing's going to stop him from doing it again.
Oh, and side note, Su Yung made her debut on Impact tapings recently. So congrats to her for being on Impact, because we give Impact a lot of crap, but they've put together a good knockouts division over the last, 5 years or so? They've put on some really good women's wrestling.
They were first.
She is a feather in the cap. She does give that division something different. Just like Rosemary was something different. So I like the addition of Su Yung because now they lost Chelsea Green. So now they need to bring in talent because Chelsea Green is no longer Laurel Van Ness. Does she come to WWE is my next question.
Yes, we'll see her on Sunday.
Chelsea Green?
Yep.
We see her at the Rumble.
Like the Chelsea Green, the same from Tough Enough?
Yep.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I don't know about Sunday, but she'll definitely sign.
Yeah, we'll see her Sunday, I think. Real quick, I went to Wrestling House tomorrow in Rhode Island last.
I saw that on Snapchat. Yes.
Yep. AR Fox got hurt, but I'm glad to hear he's doing good. He got hurt on a Canadian Destroyer, popped his shoulder out, and you could hear him say to his girl, "Call 911."
Call 911. Yeah.
He couldn't get out of the ring. They had to take the ropes down. But later on that night, he was tweeting that he'll be good, and he's on the Beyond show the day of the Rumble. So I guess he's good.
Oh wow. Well, then again, wrestlers are the toughest SOBs I know, beside football players and hockey players. So.
Yep. But then I saw, the reason I brought that up is I saw one of the worst women's matches I've ever seen.
Was it with Mandy Leon?
No, it was
Sonya Strong.
Yes.
How did I know?
Sonya Strong versus, and it's hard. Sumi
Sakai.
Thank you. I can never say
You're
her last name. Which was surprising that it was that bad of a match. With
Matt, have you seen Sumi Sakai before?
No.
Okay.
I can't even remember.
She's a Ring of Honor veteran. She is a Women of Honor veteran. Yeah, Sumi Sakai. She's a Ring of Honor veteran, Women of Honor. She's been in the independent scene and in Japan for going on 20 some odd years. Mm-hmm. If you have a bad match with Sumi Sakai,
it's on you.
It's not her. It's on you, because she's one of those ring generals that people talk about in the industry. I remember seeing Sumi Sakai against Sonya Strong in a tag match with Willow Nightingale and Violet from House of Glory, which is also horrible. That was a bad match. But now
New York-based wrestlers,
and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and that makes me sad about the New York-based wrestling scene when it comes to women's wrestling. There is a lot of good, but the bad really gets a lot of publicity. And
it always.
I don't like it. And knowing now, I used to be a Sonya Strong guy, but lately she's regressed. So if you get a chance to watch any Sonya Strong matches, try to watch from 2016 maybe, where I thought she was better. Now she's not as good.
But the reason I brought that up, because also the abbreviation's what? Yeah, get it out of your system. What?
Yeah.
Wrestling Us tomorrow signed a huge match for.
Yes, I know.
It's Emma versus Rachel Ellering.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And Lance Storm actually just tweeted and said this match is going to get even more interesting. For those of you who don't know, Rachel Ellering is a Storm School graduate, and I believe Emma is too.
And also, Rachel Ellering's name during the Mae Young Classic was Rachel Evers, which is the real life last name of Lance Storm.
Good tidbit. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I like it.
So that was paying homage to him, because everyone knew she was the daughter of Paul Ellering.
Yep.
So for her using Evers, because that's Lance Storm's kayfabe name, or shoot name, I think that was good. That was a nice tip of the cap.
My shoot name is kayfabe.
Your
Chip
shoot name or your real name?
Your shoot name is, well,
my shoot name is my real name, and my shoot name is kayfabe. Does that make sense at all?
Nope. And on that note, I think that's the perfect time for us to leave this episode of the Shattered Glass Cast, as Chip has done.
Do I need to change my wardrobe again for the ending?
No, you do not need to change your wardrobe for the fourth time. This is not an award show. On behalf of everyone here,
like a pageant or something.
Yeah, he's a pageant queen.
Yes.
Everyone on behalf of SGC, thank you, Matt, myself, and Chip. This was a first-time live stream show with all of us here. I liked it. It was enjoyable.
A lot of fun.
And we will see you all next week. Without you, there is no us. Later, guys.